try!
Michael, what's the feeling after that one? Do you feel you deserve to win that?
Yeah, I do. I think so. I think we, both on both sides of the ball, like both attack and defence wise. So even the period where we were under pressure there, where they had the ball in the second half of it, we defended well. And, we extracted ourselves from those situations to sort of get the momentum back to us. And then we had calls that went against us that then pinned us back down there. So, I suppose that's always going to be my opinion, isn't it? I'll coach a team that lost, so,
After last week, it's obviously been a tough week for Australian rugby. The guys have been under a lot of pressure. Are you pleased with what they brought early doors?
But I'm always proud of and pleased with the team. Even last week when it's harder to be proud and pleased, because I see what they're doing off the field, and I know that chaps are throwing eggs and bombs and everything like that our way. That's the way she rolls, but it's all good, but the gallant loser thing's not on, Should have won that game. We know it, right? And there was things during the game that could have changed the course of it. And then even at the last bit, we had 3 minutes, should have just shot that ball out and got a hold of that ball and kept it at all costs.
On the field, you said there were a few calls that you thought might not have gone your guys' way, and there was, the script might have been written. What did you mean by that?
Got to tread lightly here, my friend. Got to tread lightly. Well, number one that I can say, because it's clear to everyone, is Retalix picked one of our blokes up and put him on his head. Categorically, he's got his arm through his legs, tipped him up, and then it's a free pass. Right? So, that's one that's clear, so I don't have to, go over it. So it's clear. The guy can't end up on his head any other way. But then it's a freebie. So, just as well he didn't break his neck.
Michael, how proud are you of the team to fight back from, we took the lead twice in the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes?
I was proud of the way we bounced back this week during training, but I'm not happy with the result. It still shows an L next to the name, next to the score sheet. We came here to win. We had confidence we were going to win, and we didn't get that. So we're disappointed again.
Michael, the penalty count was quite high against you guys. Do you think that was fair?
That was fair. Oh, mate, look, you never know until you go back and have a look. I just was surprised at some of them. The scrum down in the corner where it came back out, they knocked it on, and then there was no comms on a penalty for the loose head going in or anything, and then a couple of seconds later they decided that was a penalty. Haven't really seen that before, so just a lot of little things, We get the knock on from a drop that goes into offside from Dane Haylor-Petty. They do exactly the same thing and it's knocked back, it's irrelevant whether it's fair or not because it is the way it's officiated. And mate, any of that stuff does not in any way excuse not finishing that game off with 3 minutes to go, kick off to us. So I don't want it taken that way, but, there was some calls last year in Auckland and again, being hit again here. I suppose it's just a bit disappointing, but in no way does it change the fact that at 77 minutes, we're in front. We should have sealed that game off.
Check, does that game show that, or suggest that the gap between Australia and New Zealand is not as big as perceived?
Oh, mate, I don't know. I suppose the people that have been giving it to us will say the other mob had a bad day. I don't know. It depends. The gap is not the issue. It's about our performance, the quality of our performance. And we've traditionally, over the 3 years I've been involved, now this is the third year, as we've been together longer, we've got better. Right, but unfortunately, we can't wait that long because these games are game 1 and 2. We've got to be on the money there, straight out of the comp, straight in to be playing more like we did this week, last week, so that we can be in the battle for the whole series, and it's just really disappointing that the series is not alive anymore.
So, Michael, what do you believe ultimately, all of that said, what do you think was the ultimate difference between the two sides tonight?
It was pretty even, I suppose, yeah. I think we dropped a few kickoffs that were really crucial. If I look at it from a technical perspective, real crucial ones at different times, and they got a roll on from there. But, mate, I was pretty pleased with the game, the way we the way we played, and just some of the improvements we made in some of the areas that we wanted to work on. But at the end of the day, mate, it's, got to win. Got to win from there.
Michael, this is a bit left of field, but I know
Left of field over here. Come on.
I know a lot goes into winning a rugby game, but you'd also know that in New Zealand they're on the way to having world-class broadband network. Is it possible that being able to upload and download data in New Zealand? Yeah, I know that Michael's spoken about it, so I just whether you think that New Zealand would have an unfair or have an advantage over Australia if it has a faster sort of national network.
Is this an ad for some company? Like, are you representing an internet company? Is this an ad or something? We're trying to get a plug. Mate, to be honest, it's just out of my league, that one for the moment. My head's spinning around with other stuff. And certainly the upload speed and the download speed of broadband in New Zealand is not at the top of my head. Fair enough? No disrespect.
Michael, there's been, back at home, the response seems positive. People are proud of that performance, and I'm sure you are. But your sentiment tonight is pretty angry. Is that what you came across in the room? Not angry, sorry.
No, it's not fair. I'm not angry. I'm very, very disappointed because I felt like, we did enough to win the game. That's why, not angry about anything in particular. Just, mate, we put everything into it, and we want to get something out of it. That didn't really answer your question, did it?
Hoops, if you can maybe put that sort of disappointment aside for 1 second, do you hope this at least lightens the mood around our game a little bit more back home?
Well, I don't know what happened with the Shoot Shield final, so I'm sure that was probably a good turnout there at Norths. And then into our game, like I view the rugby as such a great game. Like, I'm a fan of the game rugby, and then just to be on the field tonight, have a full stadium, and I'm sure people at home like watching that game on the edge of their seats right to the final minute. It is a brilliant game, and like no other in the world, and it does go down to the wire like that. Even last week, our last 30 minutes of the game was something to enjoy, and put us back in perspective there. So, I'm a fan, and I think that it certainly has got a great future.
Michael, back here. Sorry, back over here. Yeah.
It's not a broadband question, is it?
No, sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
I hope you got 4G for this one. I was just wondering about the substitution of the hooker before half-time. Was that in response to the scrum?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Taft's obviously a very big body, right? So he's probably got about, verging on 15 kilos on Maury, and I think that change was coming at half-time anyway. So we decided that was something we wanted to do. And then brought Keps in the game. We sort of we started going okay in the scrum there. Got a little bit of dominance there. Sometimes those matchups are just particular on the night, because Alan's a great scrummager. He's done really well since he's been coming in the team. It's the combination of players sometimes. And I was pleased the way we fought back in the scrum there, because we were under the pump a little bit early on, and it sort of got us. In fact, the little push that we made on the scrum that spilt out the side sort of gave Aaron Smith that chance to scoot on the inside, because it turned a little bit as we came forward, and it nudged out and popped out that way. So, look, that's the long answer to your question. I could have answered it in saying yes, couldn't I? Yeah, but... yeah.
Any injuries?
Sorry?
Injuries?
Well, there's a word for Sean McMahon tonight, and that was outstanding. He was truly outstanding. He just gave it everything. That's the Sean McMahon we know, and that's why I'll be aiming all guns towards Japan to try to get his contract torn up over there or something like that. I don't care what it takes to make him stay here, because we want him. We need him. No, just made it up now. So I don't know. Maybe the team's looking over their shoulder now. I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's nice to say publicly how badly we want to play to stay here, because we love him and we want him to keep playing like that in the gold jersey.
Michael,
once perhaps your emotions are over tonight and if you don't look at the table perhaps, but do you think perhaps for the rest of the Rugby Championship it's all, all ahead?
Well, last year we came out with the first two results like this. We still finished second in the Rugby Championship. I don't know what the possible machinations are at the end of the day. It's a huge match for us, the game against South Africa in Perth, for a number of reasons. One, because it's a game against South Africa, which is going to be a real contest. They've been playing excellent rugby this year. And two, because it's very important for us to go over to Perth and play a big match. I think with everything that's been going on, we're very aware that we wanted to win so badly for Australian rugby tonight, not just for us, right? For rugby over there, and give the people a smile on their face around the game. And we know what's happened over, it'll be the elephant in the room as the game gets closer, but we want to go over there and play the best rugby we can. So supporters from Perth that come over there will show how much we respect them and how much we want to play for them as well.